What is up, guys? Welcome back to something a little bit different. Today we are having a little bit of a competition between Gran Turismo Sport and Project Cars 2. Both came out in 2017, so they should be pretty similar. Now, I've been playing Gran Turismo Sport for about 7-8 months now, and I've been playing Project Cars 2 for a little over 2 weeks. And right now, I am having more fun on Project Cars 2. We'll go over why throughout this video, but I would like to know your thoughts if you've played both games, or if this video makes you want to go out and buy Project Cars 2. It's pretty cheap. Well, they're both pretty cheap. They're over 2 years old now. So what we are doing is one lap around Brand's hatch in the 911 GT3 car, which is available on both of the games, and just having a little bit of a comparison session. Gran Turismo, you're up first. So there we go, the first sector for both vehicles there. I just wanted you to be able to listen to the cars, listen to the difference. The Gran Turismo seems to be you're inside some kind of box where it's all kind of muffled, whereas Project Cars 2 seems to be more aggressive and more vibrant in the sound. The visuals are, Gran Turismo is very bright. They're both done at the same time of day in the sunshine, but you can tell from the switch over here the level of detail as well that's in the car. Obviously both cars looking pretty different, but you can tell that the level of detail in the design of the car here is much higher than in Gran Turismo Sport. And if you're looking at the details flashing past, it seems like they've taken a little bit more care with the design of the environment as well. I don't think the trees are as good in Project Cars 2 as they are in Gran Turismo Sport. But I mean, you're not looking at the trees, are you really? I mean, I could be wrong. Those trees look pretty terrible. But anyway, you can tell the difference of how bright it looks in comparison to Project Cars 2 as we're rounding out the lap here. Both absolutely felt fine on the controller as well. I know I've moaned quite a bit about how little feeling I get in Gran Turismo Sport compared to Project Cars 2, but if we're talking about controllers right now, both acceptable on either game to play with the controller. Well, when you're in the cockpit of Project Cars 2 as well, there's like this shift of force that makes it a little bit more immersive. When you brake, the camera moves forward a little bit, and when you accelerate, you do move back. Now, as we come across the line here, the thing that makes each game different is, look at this. Look at the weather choices that you have on Project Cars 2. Everything from cloudy to light rain to heavy rain to fog to haziness to blizzards to thunderstorms. It's just an absolute delight to have that choice of just to throw it in whenever you want. It's something that Gran Turismo just doesn't have. And if you're looking for a simulation, which, you know, Gran Turismo Sport is, you know, the best driving simulator or the greatest driving simulator or whatever it is, and it's just not in comparison to just this. As you can tell, we're in a freaking blizzard now, which completely changes the way that you have to drive. There are now puddles on the track that you have to watch out for. There's a puddle on the right here that has collected me a couple of times, and then there's another secondary puddle. So if you get caught by one, you get caught by the second one. So that is the blizzard. And here is the rain, and it is just absolutely intense. This is actually in the thunderstorm, so you might see the screen flashing from time to time as well, which just makes it absolutely mental. And when you're driving with other cars as well, the spray that is getting kicked back in your face is absolutely insane, and I love it. Genuinely, as I was just doing these hot lap time trial things for this video, I had a smile on my face while driving Project Cars 2. And obviously, if you want to go that one extra mad lad level, go in nighttime. You can put nighttime on any track. You can go any time of day, any weather combination, mix it up, and there you go. And my God, was I loving this driving around here. I'm just going to let you just have it for about 30 seconds. Just enjoy it. Oh my God, the lightning cracks are straight out of a horror movie. It is amazing, genuinely amazing. And look, we've just been collected by that water puddle that I told you about before. That is something that you do not get on Gran Turismo Sport. Freaking puddles of water on the track that you have to actually look for and drive around. But my God, what an experience. I can only imagine what it feels like in VR as well. Just absolutely fantastic. Really enjoying Project Cars 2. But I guess let's be a little bit on the fence and try to discuss both sides here. So let me touch on Gran Turismo Sport before I go all fangirl and talk about how much I love Project Cars 2 right now. So Gran Turismo Sport, the multiplayer is the best thing, but it is also the worst thing. We all know the penalty system sucks and drivers are just terrible, but I mean, you're going to get that in any racing game. Maybe they should make it harder to get into the top sportsmanship rating ranks. I don't know if that would solve the problem or not, but regardless, that's not what we're here to talk about. If we're talking about visuals and feel, I feel like Gran Turismo is very good. It's a very pretty looking game, but oh my God, in comparison to Project Cars 2, it doesn't really match up, especially when you're talking about having, how many were there? 10 different types of weather. And how many do we have in Gran Turismo? We do have the night races. We do have dusk, we do have the morning, but they're times of day, they're not weather conditions, they don't affect the way that you're driving. Like when you're driving in a snowstorm, you actually have to have ice tyres on because the snow which is falling is making the tarmac ice over, so you need a different set of tyres. Gran Turismo Sport, we have wet tyres, we have a mission challenge that you drive on water. Why is that not in the multiplayer races? Why is it just not in regular races in the story mission? 2 years and they haven't added it. It's not going to be added. It's just an absolute tease. So there, in the visuals and the array of weather conditions that you have the opportunity to play in, Project Cars has it beat. Now, in actual feeling of how it drives, I've driven both on the wheel. Obviously in this video they were both on controller, and you don't get too much feedback through a controller. It's a controller, you're not supposed to get too much feedback. But that being said, they both feel fine on the controller and they're quite easy to control, both on Gran Turismo Sport and Project Cars 2. I've driven that car, the 911, and I've also driven like a prototype Group C car on Project Cars 2, and that was really easy to control. It was probably easier to control than it was to control it on the steering wheel. But I digress. on a steering wheel, the amount of feedback and information that you get from Project Cars 2 is infinitely more than you get on Gran Turismo. I don't understand how I don't get as much feedback through Gran Turismo Sport. I've mixed with my settings, I've changed it up, I've tried different things. I just can't feel it, and I don't know what it is, but it's very disappointing to me if I'm looking at it as a simulator. So from a simulation, from a feeling of the game, and we're not even talking about in VR, which both games do have the capabilities for, the amount of feeling that you get from playing Project Cars 2 is so much more exciting and inclusive, and it just puts a smile on your face. Like I said, playing there just on the controller in the thunderstorm at night, I was driving with a smile on my face, and I don't think that has happened on Gran Turismo Sport in relation to just a driving experience. Yeah, there's been absolutely amazing moments where we've been battling with people, but that just hasn't happened on Gran Turismo Sport. Obviously, touching on the multiplayer, there's nothing like the FIAs and the daily races on Project Cars 2. There's just open lobbies. So I have heard that there are leagues or championships or cups that are set up externally from the actual game, and I think that they could be a lot of fun. So that might be something that we look forward to in the future in Project Cars 2. So Gran Turismo Sport does have Project Cars 2 be on the multiplayer, I think. And I'm not saying that Project Cars 2 is bad at multiplayer at all. I actually played my first lobby the other day, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was just with a couple of people that I knew, and it was absolutely fantastic. Just 5-lap races, and it was so much fun that you can do that in open lobbies, but the disconnecting issues and the lack of customization available on Gran Turismo Sport is infuriating, to say the least. Give us the stuff that Project Cars gives us. We want class, multi-class, like just give us like the ability to go, okay, everyone's in this car, let's do 2 cars. Oh, we can do a multi-class race, that'd be freaking amazing. Put a qualifying period in the open lobbies as well. Fantastic. But no, they won't do it. It's been 2 years. They're not going to do it until the next gen stuff. They're probably working on the PS5 stuff anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to do this little video. I know I've rambled on a bit towards the end here, but I think it's really interesting when we're sort of trying to gauge how much fun we're having from games, and I'm having a lot of fun with Project Cars 2, and I'm really struggling to draw any actual happiness from playing anything other than the FIAs, which is a 50-50 gamble whether I'm going to be angry or happy at the end of a race, which is just not what you want when you're playing a game to be enjoyable. But there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you who are members and who continually donate, you are absolute legends. So thank you for watching, liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.